There we go. All right, you guys, welcome. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Want to make sure that we got it recorded to pass on to others. Welcome to Triple M Monday Morning Motivation. We are Roxy and Aubrey and young Toby here. He's ready to learn as well. Let's get it. As always, our intention is to elevate our mindset so that our Monday is amazing and our week follows suit. And we do that on a consistent basis so our year is amazing and our life is amazing. Today, we've got a great video. None other than the Jim Rohn that we all love. We're going to be listening to his top 10 rules for success. Just so I watched the video, Roxy and I watched the video the other day, and it wasn't Jim Rohn. It was clips of Jim Rohn with the people that he had impact talk about him. Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Darren Hardy. I wish I would have Mark Hughes on there. Just imagine all the people that because he directly touches so many and then they touch so many, imagine the impact that Jim Rohn has had in the world. Like, I'm really inspired by who he was for so many because it speaks to the greater part of me to be that. Like, it's like you kind of see somebody that, they're living at such a level that it inspires the greatest part of you to try to achieve whatever percentage of that you can. So Jim Rohn is one of those guys that really always inspires me by who he was for so many. And just think about it. He's not like a super ripped up guy. I've actually never seen a picture of Jim Rohn when he was young. I don't know about you guys, but I think about that sometimes. I'm like, how was Jim Rohn when he was a younger guy? I don't ever see videos or pictures of that because maybe he had to work on himself just like we do. And he didn't get to the Jim Rohn that we know until later. So he didn't want any of that stuff shown. I don't know. But if you don't know Jim Rohn, you're going to get to know him today. He was a mentor to Mark Hughes, who founded Herbalife. He was a mentor to Tony Robbins, who's changed millions of lives around the world. And he's a mentor to millions of others. So welcome our great friend, one of my favorite personal development gentlemen, Jim Rohn.
You're not going to get out alive. Money, no problem. Economics, no problem. Future, no problem. Some people are always pulled back by the past. Without dreams and visions, people perish. Shortly put, I'll do it or die. It would be nice if someone just gave you this. If you saw my library, you would be impressed. One day I'd had it up to here, I blew it to smithereens. The poor pessimist leads an ugly life.
He was an American author, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker.
His story and his work influenced the personal development industry.
He's the author of 17 written, audio, and video media. He's Jim Rohn, and here are his top 10 rules for success.
Again, it comes from a Bible phrase that says, if two or three agree on a common purpose, nothing is impossible. So by yourself, sometimes it's really tough. But if you can get somebody to join you and say, come on, let's do this. Let's do it is a very powerful phrase. You rarely hear someone say, I'm going to go conquer the world. But you could hear the phrase, let's go conquer the world. Let's be best in our industry. Let's be number one. The power of let's. So I learned the value of that. All of my entrepreneurial projects are, not just myself, but 2, 3, 4 getting together to accomplish something unique. Here's the next attitude disease. Over-caution. Some people never will have much. They're too cautious. Now, you can also be too reckless, but you can also be too cautious. This is called the timid approach to life. And my caution was always the risk. Risk used to drive me right up the wall. I used to say, what if this happens? It's called the language of the poor. What if this happens? And on top of that, if this was to happen, look at the fix I'd be in. I better not try. I could always ace myself out. Then I'll tell you what changed my whole life when I finally discovered it's all risky. The minute you were born, it got risky. If you think trying is risky, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait till you get the tab for not investing. See, it's all risky. Getting married is risky. Having children is risky. Going into business is risky. Investing your money is risky. It's all risky. I'll tell you how risky life is. You're not going to get out alive. That's risky. Englishman says, well, if that's the way it's going to work out, let's give it a go. Right, that's what it's for. Give it a go. Somebody says, yeah, but I'm looking for safety and security. Fine, then huddle in a corner. We'll cover you with a sheet, bring you 3 meals a day. And we'll protect you, feed you, look after you, care for you. We won't let anything happen to you. And you'll probably live to be 100. The guy said, well, yeah, I'd live to be 100. But what a way to live. Right. What a way to live, safe and secure. Don't ask for security. Ask for adventure. Better to live 30 years full of adventure than 100 years safe in the corner. And see, it's not important how long you live. What's important is how you live. Now, let me give you the secret. She'll say, here's the secret, Mr. Rohn. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Once I got that, it turned my life around. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. He said, if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. If you would have known me at age 25, you would have said, Jim Rohn's a hard worker. If you'd have known me, you'd have said that. I'm the guy, I don't mind coming a little bit early, staying a little bit late. I don't mind that. You'd have said, well, Jim Rohn's a hard worker. You say, well, how come he's got pennies in his pocket and nothing in the bank and behind on his promises? Well, I was a hard worker, but I was working hard on my job, not on myself. I'm telling you, if you'll learn that simple little principle and start the process today, latest tomorrow, I'll give you tonight to think it over. And start this whole process of personal development, work on yourself, make yourself more valuable to the marketplace. I'm telling you, you can so dynamically change your income, and economics is the least of the values that you can start earning in terms of equity if you'll start working harder on yourself than you do on your job. Work hard on yourself, develop the skills. Work hard on yourself and develop the graces. All of the stuff necessary to become more valuable to the marketplace. I'm telling you, your whole life can explode into change. Promotions, no problem. Becoming more valuable to the company, I'm telling you, no problem. Money, no problem. Economics, no problem. Future, no problem. If you just go to work on the right thing. Not get things out there to change. Don't try to change the seed. Don't change the soil. Don't change the sunshine. Don't change the rain. Don't change the mix of seasons. Let the miracle of everything that's available work for you. And start working on the inside. Work on your philosophy. Work on your attitude. Work on your personality. Work on your language. Work on the gift of communication. Work on all of your abilities. And if you'll start making those personal changes, I'm telling you, everything will change for you. A person who has purpose in their life, they have something to go for, some meaning. One writer described it, for some people it becomes a magnificent obsession. And for you and I, maybe it doesn't need to be that dramatic as a magnificent obsession. But it has to be something that does something to us, something that pulls us, especially into the future. You know, there are many influences on us. One is the influence of the past. Some people are always pulled back by the past. Some people are always pulled aside by the distractions. But here's what's powerful. If you have a list of high purpose in your life, it pulls you toward the future. And the more powerful the purpose is, the stronger it pulls. And here's the other great advantage if you have purpose for the future. It pulls you through all kinds of challenges and all kinds of difficulties. If you don't have these strong purposes for the future, it's easy to get swallowed by a bad day. It's easy to be almost annihilated by a poor month. And it's easy sometimes to almost disappear beneath the waves of a year that goes backwards if you don't have something to pull you beyond that year. So if you want something to pull you through all kinds of challenges, all kinds of difficulties and things that come at you, you got to have something on out there beyond today, beyond next week, beyond next month, beyond this year that pulls you into the future. And the clearer it is, the stronger it pulls. The more dynamic it is, the more it affects your life, your spirit, your heart, your soul. It also creates imagination. It gets your mind working on how to achieve that purpose. And if your mind will work, and if your heart works, and if your spirit works, and if you have good input, like good ideas, I'm telling you, there isn't anything you can't accomplish. So that's one of the great powers that'll make a variable of you, and that is purpose. You've got to keep dreaming. Ronald Reagan, president, said to the joint session of Congress a few weeks ago, "The republic is a dream. And if we don't keep dreaming, we will lose the republic." Your better future is a dream for yourself and for your family. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? What do you want to see? You've got to dream dreams. There's a Bible phrase that says, without dreams and visions, people perish. You've got to have something to go for that inspires the heart and the soul. Dreams. From the children of Sanchez, it says, take the crumbs from starving soldiers, they won't die. Take the bread from hungry children, they won't cry. But without dreams, we all will die. You've got to dream. Don't lose your dreams for yourself, for your future, for your family. The dreams of love and enterprise and travel and doing things, becoming something unique on your journey here. Don't lose your dreams. Do some dreaming. Resolve. Resolve says, I will. Two of the most powerful words in the language. Benjamin Disraeli said, nothing can resist a human will that will stake its existence on its purpose. Shortly put, I'll do it or die. This definition of resolve I got from a little junior high girl, Foster City, California. I'm going through some words one day. I got to this one and I asked the kids, who can tell me what resolve means? Some didn't know, some tried. Interesting. The last one was the best. Little girl about 3 rows back, she said, I think I know, Mr. Rohn. I said, what? She said, I think resolve means promising yourself you will never give up. I said, that's the best I've ever heard. She's probably giving seminars somewhere today, right? I mean, that's the best I've heard. I asked the kids, how long should a baby try to learn how to walk? How long would you give your average baby? Before you say, hey, enough's enough. No. Any mother in the world would say, you're crazy. My baby is going to keep trying what? Until. What a magic word. I want you to write it down. Until. Promise yourself you'll read the books until your skills change. You'll go to seminars until you get a handle on it. You'll listen to it until it makes sense. You'll go for it until you understand it. You'll practice it until you develop the skill. Never give up until, however long that is. Step by step, piece by piece, book by book, word by word, apple by apple. Walk around the block, walk around the block. Go for it. Don't miss the chance to grow. And resolve that you'll pay the price until you learn, change, grow, become. Then you'll discover some of life's best treasures when you pay that price. There's great power in self-reliance. Self-reliance means you simply look mostly to yourself. It would be nice if someone just gave you this, gave you this, gave you this. It would be nice if everyone did their job exactly as they're supposed to do it. But here's what you've got to do. Primarily rely on yourself. Primarily say, I'm the person responsible. And I will learn the necessary skills so that I can help people learn their skills. If I need lots of people to do certain things to build my organization, that is what I must have. But I've got to be the final backstop. I've got to be the final one that people can rely on. So that if this is missed and this is missed, I can catch up. I can fill the gap. I can do the job. We have to do it when we conduct meetings. We have to do it when we conduct training. We have to do it when we're in a class of just a few. What someone might have missed, we're there to fill in. Self-reliance. Primarily, we're learning to count on yourself. So that you can do this, never complain and never explain. Your philosophy comes from what you learn, comes from what you know, comes from other people's experiences. 3 ways now to learn from other people. Here's number 1, learn from what you see. One of the great watchwords of these early years of the 21st century, pay attention. If you just watch, you can pick up clues. Success leaves clues. And if you'll be a better observer of the winners and the losers, those that are doing well and those that are falling behind, and just take mental notes and good notes and say, I'm going to adjust what I'm doing based on what I see. Here's number 2. We learn so much from other people based on what we hear. Here's good advice on that. Be a selective listener. Listen to voices of value that have experience, ideas, reputation, something valuable to share. Now here's number 3. Read all the books. Now there's millions of books, so you can't read all the books. But make this note. Read all the books you need to read to make you as wealthy as you want to be, as healthy as you want to be, as prosperous, as productive, as unique a human being as you want to be. Read all of those books. Don't leave those books go unread. My mentor got me started on my library when I was 25. I got one of the best. If you saw my library, you would be impressed. I haven't read everything in it, but I feel smarter just walking in it, right? My library. I was smart enough to buy it all. Now I got to be smart enough to read it all. Now jot this down. When you do read, you have to sort through what you read and decide which is valuable to try. That's part of the process of learning. Gathering information and sorting through it. 1, the information that would apply to you, and what you think would be valuable based on your current philosophical opinion. So read all the books. Our lives are greatly affected by what we learn and what we know. Discuss.
Awesome. Great stuff. Man, that's such a great video. He's got 2 more lessons, so if you want to see the full video, Jim Rohn's 10 Rules for Success, but we're going to get into some takeaways now. Roxy, what do you have for us?
I love this video. I love Jim Rohn because he's like, doesn't really use big words, but just like his teachings are so like classic and just for everyone. I really, really love them. Some of the biggest, some of the biggest things that I took away, the very first one, when he said, it's if 2 or 3 people can agree on a common purpose, nothing is impossible. And what that reminded me of was actually this weekend, a Future Presidents Team retreat, and how they talked about how Herbalife is built on 5 lines, like 5 lines of people, and look at the impact all around the world. Like these 5 people said, no matter what, like we're going, like they committed not only themselves and to Herbalife and to Mark Hughes, but to the health and the wellness of the world. And that to me is just like, wow, because something that started from out of somebody's trunk is now in over 90 plus countries, $7.8 billion company. And it just came through people agreeing on one common purpose of taking better nutrition around the world. So that really stood out to me. Another thing that stuck out to me is too cautious can lead you to nothing. You know, like leading a very cautious life, it kind of like reminded me of my mom, always worried about X, Y, and Z things, you know, but never really taking on an adventure. And you can worry about X, Y, and Z reasons, but at the end of the day, what matters is how you lived your life. You know, it doesn't matter the years, how he said it. What matters is like what your life was made out of. It's like if you want to live safe and secure, go ahead and put yourself in a corner. We'll feed you, we'll warm you, we'll clothe you. And you may live to 100 years, but it's not the 100 years that matter. It's the life in the years that matter. So I thought that was just super powerful. Another thing that I really loved is how he talked about how people with purpose life, with a purpose in life, have a meaning to life. And he talked about finding a purpose that pulls you towards the future. You know, and that really resonated with me because I remember a time in my life where I would be led to my past continuously to the past, but there was nothing in the past for me. And as long as I was living in the past, I was always remaining a victim of what had happened, a victim of the things that I can no longer change. You know, so whenever I found this and I found like just a different way of being and a different way of life, now I can continuously say that my vision is continuously in the future, continuously dreaming about the things that I want, not only for myself, but for my family and the family that I have now and my future family. So I thought that was really powerful. And he said, the clearer that it is, the stronger that it pulls, you know? So no matter what, like you're like going to be out in the ocean and stuff, like no matter what comes at you, you're going to be so strong and being pulled towards your vision that nothing else matters. So that, I thought that was amazing. And then some of the things that I really, really loved, I'm going to leave you guys with this. And now he talked about to learn from other people. And I thought that was super powerful because he said, be a better observer of the winners and the losers. You know, be an observer of the winners and the losers. Like, how powerful is that? You know, like whenever I came into Herbalife, I was able to see so much contrast. You know, at the time I was working at this restaurant, and I would go into this restaurant where people were continuously gossiping, continuously in a bad mood, continuously talking bad about people. And I was just like, man, like I could see how unhappy they were. You know, and they thought they were solving things by talking bad about other people, but really it's only a reflection of you, you know. And whenever I would see that, I was just like, okay, this is not the way that I want to be. And then I would come into Herbalife, into the nutrition club, and people would be like, be the better version of yourself, work on yourself, like all these things. And I was like, this is what I want to be. This is who I want to be. People who were striving to be more, to do more, and to become more, you know. And that was a direct reflection and proportion of who they wanted to be, and it was showing and emanating through them. You know, people hugging you, smiling, and that to me was just like, I saw it. So that was really powerful how you said, like, really be observant of that. It's kind of like they say, you hang around with 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are they people that just say they want to go after things, or are they really going after the things that they say that they want? So that was powerful. And he said, be a selective listener. So also, like, what are you allowing yourself to listen to? You know, I remember speaking to someone, they're like, if somebody says anything negative, I cut it off right there. Cut it off. I'm not going to be a vessel or something that's going to take in any kind of negativity, whether it's about me or whether it's about anything else. Like, speak only positive to me. Speak only great things to me. So I think that was really powerful, something that I want to continue to practice, and not letting other people put junk inside my ears. And that's actually something that Mark Matika said too, like, get godliness around you, get godliness like inside you, and get the garbage out. So that was powerful. And then last, read all the books you need. When you read through them, sort what is valuable to you. He talked about having a big library. He hadn't read everything, but know that the more books you read, the more that you become, the more valuable you become to people. And yeah, those are my takeaways.
Awesome. Great stuff. Roxy pretty much covered it all.
Sorry.
So I'm going to just give you one, and I want to hear from you guys. She covered some great tips and topics. One of the biggest ones I like is self-reliance, looking mostly to yourself, not in an ego way like I know it all, but I always love, I got this 3 things. I believe when I was starting Herbalife, I'd done some personal development. It said, first of all, look to yourself. Do you know how to do something? If you're going up against a challenge, you want to learn how to do something. Ask yourself, do I have the experience, or can I pull on some past experience to do this? If you don't, no problem. Next step is go and try and find a book or a video, YouTube. Use tools around you to try to learn how to do what you can do. Like I was talking to my mom yesterday. She's getting into juicing. And I was like, Mom, go on YouTube, type in juicing for beginners. 100 videos will pop up. Like, we get to remember that we have all these tools around us. And then if you can't find the tools in a book or in a video around you, the last thing is to go to somebody else and ask them for help. And in the past, I feel like I would be the first person to go to someone to help. Hey, can you help me? Do you know how to do this? Instead of asking myself first, looking through my tools second, and then asking for people's help third. Because number one, when I would ask other people for help and they would just do it for me, I wouldn't learn. You know, we were watching a comedy show last night about this guy who was talking about his son. He came from tough times and he wanted to give his son more. like, which is normal as human behavior, but he said his son never learned how to earn anything. So it was causing his son to feel entitled. And I remember for me, I remember doing chores at a really young age, and I would clean like the bathroom, and my mom and dad would pay me $1, and I cleaned like 6 things, and I had $6. I remember holding out 6 $1 bills like, yo, your boy's balling. I remember it. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was because I'd done the work. That's really why I think. And I was like, man, your boy's balling. I got it, 6 $1 bills. And you know, even later in my life, my dad had me do chores every day I got back from school. And I remember even one day, his friend who was our roommate at the time was like, man, you got Aubrey cleaning everything. And I was like, yeah, Dad, I'm in here cleaning everything. And I didn't understand at the time, but I'm so grateful that my dad had me doing that. He used to have me read a National Geographic article every day when I got back, and I had to report to him what it was about. I usually only read about a page and tried to like BS through it, but I should have done more, but I'm grateful. It's the little things that create self-reliance that everybody won't appreciate. When you tell a client, hey, what do you think about that? Or you tell a friend, what do you think about that? Or you tell a team member, hey, what do you think the answer is? Sometimes people get upset first, and I'll speak for myself. I'll get upset first because I feel like they didn't want to help me. But in actual reality, they're helping me the most because they're having me create more self-reliance, and that's the ultimate key to fulfillment and achievement. So I really like that one. Let's get a few shares from you guys about what you guys took away. Who's excited to share? Let me see a hand up or a smiley face, or there we go. Let's get it, Mo. Hit him with it, Mo.
So I love Jim Rohn. I always have. First time I ever heard him, I was like, I didn't really dive into personal development, and he was like one of the first speakers that I ever listened to, and it was pretty cool. And then I saw a picture of him. I was like, that was not how I imagined this guy was going to be. But so it goes to show, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. But big one for me was that, you know, like I love it when he says it's all risky. Like the minute you were born, it was risky, you know? And so like, why not take the risk to live the life that you want to live? Like, why not go for it instead of, you know, like while making a living is cool, like we can all make a living, you know, we can all make a living, but to live the good life of health, wealth, and happiness, like you're going to have to go beyond just what you are comfortable doing. And so like, go ahead and take the risk because it's worth it. Like, you know.
There you go. So, that was powerful. Yeah, that was big. We're not going to get out of here live. I love that one. All right, let's get one more share or 2 more shares, depending on how many people want to share. We got my man Justin, Amparo, Sergio. Who wants to share? Let's get Jay Stevens. Jay, you on?
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
What up?
I think a lot of us covered it, but just definitely the cost of not taking the risk. You know what I mean? Like, what will you go without if you're not willing to, you know, go after it? I think that was huge for me. It was very that was probably my takeaway for the day. Just, you know, like we look at like, well, if I go after it, I might lose this, but if I don't, you know, I mean, I don't even have a chance at it. So definitely just going all out, being fully invested, fully committed, and trying 100%. So
there you go. Think it's risky investing, try not investing. I love that. Great stuff. Right. Powerful stuff. Sergio or Ampis, if you guys can, I know you might be at work or driving. If you can't, take your video on if you want to share. If not, no problem. I don't know if they're going to be able to share. Okay. Awesome work, you guys. So now we get to share and pay this forward. We're going to upload this to YouTube, post it on Facebook, pay it forward, and tag your friends and family to watch the recording, hear from Jim Rohn, us, and yourselves, and tag people on next week's Triple M. Always learning, always growing. And your personal development this week, if you get a great video that you want to have people watch, trust me, let's watch it together. This is a group mission. The purpose inside of this is group mindset elevation. So excited. We got JKO next weekend for all my Herbalifers that are in Los Angeles and the West Coast. And on the East Coast is going to be at the end of the month. That's the January kickoff where Herbalife members are taking their mindset, their vision, and their belief in their business to the next level in order to make a massive impact in the health of the planet. So thank you guys so much. Have a great Monday. Adios. Let's get it, you guys. Peace.